Hello friends, welcome here. My name is Oshina. I am so glad that you clicked on this video because I'm sharing all of the best rom-coms that I read in 2025. It felt like the year of the rom-com for me. I read quite a few. I don't know how that happened, but I was just drawn to them. And there's definitely some that stand out and some that are completely forgettable because I do read quite a few, and because of that, the ones that are forgettable, just like I read them, I'm entertained for the moment, and then they leave my brain. The ones that don't leave my brain and that like leave an impact, those are the ones that are favorites, and that's what I'm going to be sharing today. I will share at the end like kind of my list of I wouldn't recommend these, they were fine, but like there's better out there kind of thing, just for you to see what I did read. So it's a bit of a like overview of what I read as well, but I'm going to start with my favorites and then we'll get there at the end. Number one, I did reread The One with the Kiss Cam by Cindy Steele. This is one of my favorite rom-coms of all time. My library got the audiobook, so I listened to the audiobook. I read this on Kindle Unlimited in December last year, so that was really fun to dive back into this, and it's just so good, you guys. If you want depth, if you want a slow burn, if you want banter, that's what this book has. It's basically a chance meeting at the very beginning, and then I think it's 3 years go by and they end up working at the same place and they reconnect, but she has a lot of baggage and he's trying to like wear down her walls, and it's the sweetest, best written rom-com I've read ever. So highly recommend. Okay, a top favorite of the year is Beauty and the Beach by Gracie Ruth Mitchell. This was such a pleasant surprise. I read this on a summer vacation, which was just the perfect vibes for this book. It was such a quick read and it's very funny. So this is an enemies to lovers that I actually liked because they were pulling pranks on each other almost the whole time. But the setup is they do have to get married. They have a marriage of convenience. That's what it is. It's not fake marriage. I mean, I don't know. What do you call that? Marriage of convenience. And yet they like still have these walls up where it's like we're supposed to not like each other. But out of pure convenience, they do get married because it benefits both of them. And it's set on a cute little island, and she basically makes a mistake and loses all of her money. So he marries her so that she can have money. And he marries her, she marries him because he wants to inherit his family's company and he has to be married to do that. So that's how that works. And it was so funny. It was so cute. There was a lot of depth in this book. It's basically brother's best friend as well, like childhood friends to lovers, but also enemies to lovers. So many good tropes. And there's nothing funky going on. Like there is not even fade to black. Like it was so pure. Even though they were attracted to each other, but it didn't turn sexual. It just turned like, hey, I think you're beautiful, and I also think that you're a great person, and I like you, and I like being around you. And you could just see their like relationship, their friendship growing. And then of course they're attracted to each other. And it just was like the perfect balance. I was very impressed. So I still need to read more by this author, but yes, this is definitely a top favorite. Highly recommend. Another Cindy Steele that I forgot to talk about is Rebel Summer, and that's actually in the same universe. It's like a companion series with Beauty and the Beach. So they have a similar looking cover. I cut my finger and I just hit it and that hurt a little bit. Okay, anyways, so for Rebel Summer, I just love Cindy Steele's writing. After I read this book, it just solidified to me that her writing style is one of my favorites for rom-coms because she goes deep with her characters. You really get into their heads and you see why their relationship is the way that it is. And it's just so well done. I love seeing the slow burn. She's also so good at slow burn. The best. You follow this girl with this sucky politician dad, and she does not want to live on this island, and yet she comes back. I forget why she comes back. She gets in trouble with the law. Oh yeah. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so she accidentally runs her car into this guy's shop, and the guy happens to be her childhood friend from school, and the judge is like, you're a good person, we'll just get this guy, what's his name, Dax maybe, or something like that, and you have to do community service to him. So he definitely messes with her. He wants her. It's like, oh, I don't want to spoil it, but it's so funny. Like they definitely butt heads so much, and yet he's like very protective of her, and there's like a lot of deep things going on because of her dad and because of this other thing that happens that I won't say, but they're trying to like withhold their feelings, but they clearly like each other. And there's a lot of good side characters in this book, And that's all I can say. I just really love this book. What can I say? There's a really good kissing in this book. So I will say, like, totally clean, no language, but they do make out. But like kind of in the best way, like just in like a really swoony way. And I didn't mind it. And it made actually the characters and their relationship better. So there you go. Another one is If All Else Fails by Emma St. Clair. A lot of these are summer themed because it's just so easy to write a super cute, cheesy summer rom-com that isn't that cheesy. Because this book, there's so much humor in this book. That's the thing, like, please make me laugh. And this book did it. So this is a brother's best friend trope, definitely grumpy sunshine, little bit of enemies to lovers, forced proximity because she has to move in with him because he basically needs a live-in nurse, and so she becomes his live-in nurse. And the whole premise is he or she, I forget, I think it's he wants to go sailing, but he's injured, so she's like, well, I'll help you go sailing. And there's that. And it was so funny. What stands out is the humor, and it's cute, and there's definitely depth though, and highly recommend. This is traditionally published, go Emma St. Clair, so you should be able to find this in your library. So yay, she got picked up by Thomas Nelson for this book. I'm hoping she comes out with another book with them next year, because then we've got more clean options in the library, so thank you. I guess we're sticking with the summer theme, because next is Real Love by Savannah Scott. This book impressed me a lot. It's, okay, it's not a full 5-star, but when I think about it, I'm like, that was adorable. There's just a few extra scenes that I felt like were filler, but the rest of it, the romance was so cute. So basically, you follow this girl, she's famous, and she is going between LA and this island. This guy owns a boating whatever. Oh, okay, one second. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay. Got a phone call, we're good to go. Real love. Okay, so she gets this guy to boat her back and forth between LA and this island, and they're slowly forming a friendship through that. But at the same time, they don't realize that they're chatting online playing chess, I want to say. They're playing some kind of game. I think it's chess. I forget. But so they're like forming a relationship that way. And then of course they're like, let's meet up. And then they meet up and it all goes that way. So what really stood out is this author, she wrote the cutest date I think I've ever read in my whole life. The cutest date I could ever picture happening, ever. In a way, it's kind of my perfect date. Not quite, but like close. And I was so swooning the whole time. I loved their relationship. The only thing that like made it not 100% favorite is just a few of those filler scenes that I was like, get on with it. Like I wanted to just skim through them. But anytime the characters were interacting, I loved it. And of course they have to figure out, like, she's famous, he doesn't like the spotlight, what are they gonna do, you know? And it was really good. So highly recommend that one. Very impressed. Yes, I read quite a few what? Another summer themed rom-com is The Island House by Elana Johnson. I was so surprised by this book. I really actually enjoyed it. It felt like such a mature romance, and yet it's so short, so like how could you develop it that way? But what she put in it like actually worked. So you follow this woman who is out of a marriage, I think, or something like that, recently single, and she impulsively buys a house in Hawaii. So she moves to Hawaii, and the house that she bought has a squatter in it, and it's their romance. But it actually worked. Like, it wasn't like insta love. It was, dude, you're squatting in my house, get out. I bought this place. But he's like, no, please, I have nowhere to go. And they like strike up a deal, and she definitely bought a house without knowing how to repair it because it needs repairs. So he's like, I'll help with repairs, and she's like, fine. And then there's like a lot of like familial drama, I guess, and like relational drama that they have to work through. But it just worked, and I actually liked it, and I was entertained, and it was a good summer romance read. So I do recommend this one. I am assuming it's on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know. The author sent this to me. So thank you to her, because I actually quite like this book, and that was a pleasant surprise. Another summer book is The Summer of You and Me by Denise Hunter. Yay! I bought this copy on Book Outlet, so now I can have it because I was so invested in this book. It is about a topic that like I think some people would have feelings about, but I thought the way the author executed it was really well done. and it actually worked. It felt like it was real life. So you follow this woman who was married to a guy. He was in the army and he was deployed and he passed away while he was out there. On the 5-year anniversary of his passing, she goes back to his hometown where they like met. He had a younger brother who always kind of had feelings for her, but he's like, that's my brother's wife, I can't do anything about it. And so he fully backed off, but all throughout his passing and like as she was grieving, he was really there for her. They've grown to be like pretty close friends. And once she gets there, basically she sees someone who looks like her husband and she's like, how is this possible? I don't know what's happening. Like she feels like she's kind of losing her mind. So she tells the brother and is like, can you help me find this person? Like I for sure think I just saw my dead husband who's been dead for 5 years, so it's not possible, but like how does this person look so much like him? So they're kind of thrust together to do that, so they see each other a lot, and through that they definitely have like a lot of different things to work through. She still has grief and like kind of guilt, I guess, on wanting to move on, but like also not wanting to move on. She has a really terrible mother who's like all up in her business and doesn't understand boundaries, and then he likes her. And she has confusing feelings about that. And it was messy, but in a really well done way. I thought she wrote the mess well. And I was so invested. I liked the writing style, and it worked for me. It's like a 5 stars. It is 5 stars. I really like this book and I would recommend it. So I read so many good ones, you guys. So next one is Second Chance at Sunshine Inn by Amy Clipston. I always forget this title, but this book surprised me because Amy Clipston does also write, I think Amish fiction, or just, I think Amish fiction. I've read some of her books that were like so brutally boring that I was like, no. But then I've also read some of her books that have like been 5 stars, which is this one. But actually I think I gave it 4 stars. I don't remember, but it's still a favorite because I just really liked the dynamic of the characters. Again, when there's a complex relationship, it's not just insta-love. It's not just like, oh, everything's great and they just love each other. There's like actual issues they have to work through. I really like that. And when the author takes their time to make it believable, that's what I appreciate. And that's what these books have. So for this one, the 2 characters inherit an inn from an old lady that they both knew, but they don't know each other. So they get there and 50% of the place, the inn, goes to them, and so she wants to sell it, he wants to keep it, and they have to work through that. And then there's a whole bunch of other drama that comes into the play, and I was entertained the whole time, and I really liked it. So I'd recommend this one too. Okay, this one was so good. Everything's Coming Up Rosie by Courtney Walsh. This is my favorite traditionally published book by Courtney Walsh because the romance was so good, but then the message was so good too. So far, none of these books I've talked about have faith content. PS. Same with this one, but oh, it's so good. I follow a girl who is in theater and she's trying to find a new job because she lost her job. So she applies to a whole bunch of jobs, gets called, gets a job, goes there, doesn't realize that it is being the theater director for an old folks home. And she's like, I don't really want to do this, but then she has no other options and she starts meeting people and they're so great. So she's like, fine, I'll stay. And there's a handyman guy. And he was so sweet. I just loved it. I feel like the character development in her, and then also the way all of the side characters came together to make this found family group, and it kind of like was perfectly, like they all had character development. It wasn't just her. The way they all grew to the end, it was so satisfying and well done. And I just loved it. Like there was something very special about this book, and I can't put my finger on it other than like, I think it's the combination of found family, life lessons, and super adorable romance. It was just a perfect blend, and I love this book. So next up is The Best Is Yet to Come by Demi Macomber. This book is one of those ones where it's forgettable, but I have very fond memories of it. Like I read it and I was like, that was really good, 4 stars. But like, I can't really tell you what it's about. So like, look it up because at least it's a traditionally published book. You should be able to get it from your library or at least find access to it somehow. But I can just tell you that it was cute. I have good memories of it. And it was clean, no language, but I don't remember the story at all. So There you go. Another 4-star one is The Sweetheart Fix by Miranda Liasson. This book was good, but it does have a fade to black scene that has zero buildup, but it is there. Like, truly the buildup is barely anything. They like kiss for maybe like a couple sentences and then it's over. So I appreciated that. And I don't remember if there's language. There may be 1 or 2 words. This book, I just liked it because the story was interesting, and then I did slowly like the characters and I liked their relationship. It felt realistic as much as it could be. So the story is, this girl is a counselor, but she has several failed relationships in her past. So she's supposed to be a couples counselor, but everyone kind of is like, if you can't even have a good relationship, like, why are you a counselor for it? And so her job says, take a break, find something else. And she ends up going to the mayor's office, and she kind of gets sucked into this situation where she has to like be a liaison, like basically a counselor for different like city issues. And the mayor's like, I need to hire you to help me because I'm not very good at this. And it's a romance between her and the mayor. It's definitely like a bit of enemies to lovers, but forced proximity, workplace romance. And she is so good for him. I really liked seeing how their characters like grew on each other and made each other better. So it made the relationship make sense. There's no faith content in this book, except his grandma does pray, and I would say it is a Christian, but like that's it. And they do it in the book, but it's like fully fade to black, and there may be like 1 or 2 swear words. That's not anything like the F word or anything, but maybe some mild ones. But I was really entertained and I liked it. One that I'm on the fence with, just because of like, I'll explain, is The Quit List by Katie Bailey. Her writing is so bingeable. I love Katie Bailey's writing. However, some of her romance does get a little more steamy than I want to be reading, because it feels like it's more based on the physical attraction rather than the emotional connection sometimes. So with The Quit List, basically this girl wants to be married and she has a bunch of failed dates, and she keeps going on dates at this bar, and one of the bartenders witnesses one of the dates going really badly and he saves her from it. He basically becomes her dating coach, and then it's their romance. And all of it was quite entertaining. Like, none of it felt vulgar until their relationship became a little more physical and they were very attracted to each other. Their kissing was quite heated, and there was just like certain scenes where I was like, okay, you know, I would not want to read that all the time. But there's no language and there's only kissing. It's not even fade to black. It's just, you know, steamy kissing. So some of you might really like that. And I do think her writing style is good, but yeah. Another one that I'm on the fence about, but I'll explain, is Rookie Season by Katie Bailey and Leah Brunner. This is a sports college romance, and it does follow 2 characters, one from Katie Bailey's previous duology and then one from Leah Brunner's series. And I'd read both of those books, so it was actually nice to see the children of those characters in this book, and they have a romance together. But there is language in this book. There's no F words, but they do, I think they say S-H-I-T, I think. Or maybe they like walk the line saying that kind of thing. Like, some of them do have like made up swear words that they say. There are steamy kisses in this book. It's fully like, there's no spice. Like, they don't do it, but they think about doing it and they want to do it, and they kiss like they want to do it. So the thing is, the authors made that clear in the marketing of the book. And I was just curious because I knew those characters and I wanted to see what an author combination would be like. And the writing style was good. I couldn't tell that there was 2 author voices happening. And it is also a dual perspective, which is nice. So you see both their perspectives. But I don't think I'll read any more in this series, just because I think I ended up giving this 3 stars. Because yeah, it was just too steamy for me in terms of like the tension. It didn't feel like safe kind of tension. It felt like this could turn at any second and I would be unprepared. Some of you might like it, but yeah, I just want you to know that. And then the last rom-com that I'll talk about is Just Don't Fall by Emma St. Clair. This is the first book in like the Appies series and the Sweater Weather series. And I think I gave this 4 stars, but it's more like a 3. I felt like it was very surface level, like cool setup. It's a sports romance with hockey, and she, I think, is a PT. What does that stand for? physical therapist. There you go. And she has to like physical therapy this guy, and they like each other. So that's nice. And he's very protective of her and all the things, and I could see how she tried to put depth in there, because like she did have, this girl had trauma in her past, but I think just the way it was written wasn't that great. Like I've seen better. I've also seen better from Emma St. Clair. So nothing to write home about. I would not recommend this book moving forward. Like this is the last time I'll be talking about it. So there you go. All right, those are all of the books that I'm going to talk about in this video. So I'm going to write them all down below. I do have reading vlogs for some of them, so I'll also link those down below. And hopefully this was helpful for you. I would say that, you know, there's some pretty epic authors and epic books in this video. I'm slowly building up a reservoir of recommendations for clean options, and some of them are traditionally published, some of them you can only get on Kindle Unlimited, although I have noticed some libraries, like mine in particular, I think are buying rights to audiobooks. So some of these books are exclusively on audio in my library, so I was able to read them that way too. But just so you know, check all the places for free copies, or of course you can buy them on Amazon too. I'll link my Amazon link down below. If you buy through my Amazon link, I'll get a commission. It doesn't change the price of the books, but I get commission for it, so that's awesome. And I will link that down below if you're interested. And yeah, thank you for being here, you guys. I can't wait to keep sharing all of my favorites. This is one of many favorites videos that are coming, and pretty soon I will be doing like my top favorites of the year, but I want to do like categories first. So that's all coming. And yeah, thank you for being here, you guys. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Anything there? Not really.